Well folks, we've solved the mystery of who killed me. Turns out, I did it. Yeah, apparently there's a fairly substantial life insurance policy on me, so I hired myself to kill me so I could collect it. It didn't work out though. You'd be amazed how hard it is to successfully prove your own death. Those lawyers are really clever. So, until I can come up with a better plan, I've decided to come back and give this another go. Besides, it's my birthday. I'm not going to let something silly like death and stop me from enjoying my birthday, right? That's what Groundhog Day jokes are for. I accept Visa, MasterCard, American Express, PayPal, personal checks, Western Union, money orders, Gamerscore, cheese and Marmite sandwiches with the crust cut off, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pencil toppers, and hot older stepsisters named Michelle. With that aside, are you ready for a video game review and a psychology lecture? Cause, well, that's just what I've got lined up for you today as we play Fruit Machine. Before I begin though, I should probably point out to my stateside viewers that when I say Fruit Machine, I mean slot machine, not the Canadian-made device for luring homosexuals out of your sock drawer. Got it? Good. Fruit Machine was released by godless heathens in 1984. It holds the honour of being the second video game I ever played. It's a pretty standard slot machine setup. 3 reels, each one adorned with various bits of fruit and stuff. If you line up 2 or 3 of the same item along the centre, starting from the left, you'll enter gambling mode. Which, I have to admit, always confused me. Surely you're already in gambling mode by virtue of the fact that you're playing a slot machine. Ah well. In gambling mode, you can do all kinds of things. You can collect some money, gamble for even more if you like, nudge the reels, or do something called a winner spinner, which is a mysterious function I still don't understand to this day. As far as I can tell, it changes the screen's palette for a bit, and that's about it. Well, there's not a whole lot else to say, really. It's a pretty simple game, but it's also a fairly unforgiving game, too. Unlike an actual fruit machine, this one tries to help you win money, but it's still very hard to do so. You notice in this video that I managed to win some money back? Do you know how many takes I had to do in order to get a winning video? 7. I had to do 7 takes to get this video that you're watching right now. And with this in mind, I asked my parents if they felt it was irresponsible of them to give a 3-year-old a gambling simulator, especially when said child didn't know how it worked or what it entailed. And they said no. The time my Uncle Ken told me that high voltage tastes like orange sherbet, that was irresponsible. But them letting me play Fruit Machine was not. Why not? Well, each time you spin the reels, it costs you 10 units of money. I don't know, gil, zenny, whatever this game uses. But after you've put in 500 whatever into the machine, it's game over, regardless as to whether you're running at a profit or a loss. And as a testament to the hideous geekery I displayed as a child, I had a little notebook listing the cumulative totals of how much I'd spent and won each time I loaded the game. Thank goodness I stopped being such a geek when I got older. Graphics are, as with any Amsoft title, incredibly basic. I mean, look at what happens when you spin the reels. Each individual sprite turns into a pulsing block rather than the whole reel spinning. And the pictures on the reels don't look too hot either. But that's okay, because it's fun. In fact, it's probably due to games like this one that I know graphics don't make a game. Yeah, sorry PS3 users, but it's true. Overall, I would say Fruit Machine is one of my favourite CPC games. Why? Well, that comes down to the psychological phenomenon called imprinting. Imprinting describes situations in which the animal or person learns the characteristics of a stimulus, and this stimulus is therefore said to be imprinted onto the subject. The best example is newborn birds. The first living creature they see gets imprinted onto the bird's minds, and they treat that creature as if it was their mother, regardless as to whether or not it actually is. You're not paying any attention to this, are you? Okay, the beginning to Super Metroid, that's what imprinting is. Okay? Good. So how is this relevant? Well, Fruit Machine was not the best slot machine on the market. It wasn't the prettiest, it wasn't animated very well, it didn't have the most features, it didn't even have any music. But it was the very first one that I played, and it's the one that I played the most. As such, it's been imprinted on me that this is my favourite. Oh, I've played other Fruit Machine simulators. I've played loads of them, and they have all been better than this one. But Fruit Machine by Amsoft is still the one that I played the most, and therefore the one that I keep coming back to. And to this day, I still curse Amsoft and their brainwashing techniques for making me play this game as much as they do. And I'm done. But before I sign off, a bonus feature! Presented in Seizure Vision. Trademark patent applied for. You happy? Took me 3 hours to record that. So until next time, goodbye. Hi, I'm a cartoon representation of Andy, otherwise known as CPC Gamer, otherwise known as Daughter of the Setting Moon, whose eyes are like daggers in the hearts of men who ride in the great caravan of the Sultan. We've learned a lot of things in today's episode, and hopefully had some laughs along the way, but there's one thing that's not funny. Posting stupid comments because you don't get the joke. In this episode, you heard the line, "Thank goodness I stopped being such a geek when I got older." This line is what we, in the writing industry, refer to as irony. I am fully aware of the fact that reviewing esoteric 8-bit video games is a very geeky thing to do, and this is why I chose to include the line in today's script. So please, before you comment, think. Are you really making the statement you thought you were? And remember, if you don't talk to your children about making retarded comments on YouTube, who will? Once again, I'm CPC Gamer. Good night.